One day, our sun will die, not with a massive explosion, and not by turning into a black hole. Instead, it will end its life as a tiny, incredibly dense object called a white dwarf. But before that happens, it will go through an incredible journey that lasts billions of years. Here's the complete life cycle of a sun-like star. Every sun-like star begins inside a giant cloud of gas and dust, called a nebula. Over millions of years, gravity slowly pulls this material together, forming a growing ball of hot gas known as a protostar. As more material falls inward, the temperature and pressure at the core continue to rise. Eventually, the core becomes hot enough for hydrogen atoms to fuse into helium. At that moment, a new star is born. The star now enters the longest stage of its life, called the main sequence. This is where it spends nearly 90% of its lifetime, producing energy through nuclear fusion. The outward pressure from fusion perfectly balances the inward pull of gravity, keeping the star stable for billions of years. Our own sun has been in this stage for about 4.6 billion years and is expected to remain here for roughly another 5 billion years. Eventually, the hydrogen fuel in the star's core begins to run out. Without enough fusion to support itself, the core starts to collapse under gravity. As it compresses, it becomes even hotter, causing the outer layers of the star to expand dramatically. The once stable star transforms into a red giant, becoming hundreds of times larger than it was before. When our sun reaches this stage, it will likely engulf Mercury and Venus, and Earth's fate remains uncertain. As the red giant becomes increasingly unstable, it begins shedding its outer layers into space. These glowing clouds of gas create one of the most beautiful sights in the universe, a planetary nebula. Despite the name, planetary nebulae have nothing to do with planets. Early astronomers simply thought they looked like tiny planets through their telescopes. At the center, only the star's incredibly hot core remains. That exposed core becomes a white dwarf. Although it's about the size of Earth, it contains roughly half the mass of the Sun, making it one of the densest objects in the universe. A single teaspoon of white dwarf material would weigh several tons here on Earth. Unlike ordinary stars, white dwarfs no longer produce energy through nuclear fusion. Instead, they slowly release the heat left over from their former lives, gradually cooling over billions, even trillions of years. Eventually, a white dwarf will cool so much that it stops giving off visible light, becoming what's known as a black dwarf. But here's the incredible part. The universe is only about 13.8 billion years old, which isn't nearly long enough for any white dwarf to cool that much. That means not a single black dwarf is believed to exist yet. They're one of the few cosmic objects we've predicted, but the universe simply hasn't existed long enough to create.